All right, so let us start. I hope everybody is back. So we were discussing the AX5 type of molecule. So AX5 type of molecule, the regular shape will be triangle bipyramidal and dipole moment will be zero. So if the dipole moment is zero, the regular shape of AX5 type of molecule is triangle bipyramidal. AX5, draw an equilateral triangle. So three atoms at the sides of an equilateral triangle, then one atom at the top, one at the bottom. So this shape is known as triangle bipyramidal, right? So here it is symmetrical molecule. So in equilateral triangle, I have already discussed, these dipole moment will get cancelled out. So these dipole moment will be cancelled out, and this dipole moment will be cancelled out with this dipole moment. So remember, these bond lengths are different from these bond lengths. So these two dipole moments are different from these three dipole moments. So this is triangle bipyramidal. So these are known as equatorial bonds, and this is known as axial bonds. So example is PCl5. So PF5 molecule, this is trigonal bipyramidal in shape. These three atoms are forming triangle in a plane, one atom at the top, one atom at the bottom. So these three bond lengths are different, these two bond lengths are different. AX5 type of molecules. So if the dipole moment is zero, the shape will be trigonal bipyramidal. Example, PCl5. Now, if it is the dipole moment is non-zero, the shape will be square pyramidal. Example is BrCl5. So in BrCl5, so basically if you see BrCl5, there are 5 chlorine atoms. So bromine is having 7 electrons. 5 electrons are in bonding of bromine and 2 electrons in the form of lone pair. So BrCl5 will have one lone pair and there will be 4 chlorine atoms at the sides of a regular square, one chlorine atom at the top and one lone pair will be there. So this shape is known as square pyramidal. So square is at the base and this chlorine atom will form a pyramid at the top. So pyramid with the square base, that is square pyramidal. So this is AX5 type of molecule with one lone pair. Example is BrF5 or BrCl5. So the shape is known as square pyramidal. So if the dipole moment is zero, AX5 type of molecule, it will be trigonal bipyramidal in shape, and if it is non-zero, it will be square pyramidal in shape having one lone pair. Example is BrCl5. Then AX6 type of molecule, if the dipole moment is zero, it will be octahedral in shape, and if the dipole moment is non-zero, it will be distorted at the octahedral with one lone pair. So octahedral in shape, the example is SF6. SF6, I have already discussed what is octahedral shape. 4 fluorines at the side of a regular square, one at the top, one at the bottom. So this shape is known as octahedral shape. So example is SF6. So this is AX6 type of molecules. So this is SF6, 4 at the sides of a regular square, one at the top, one at the bottom. And if you see from over here, it will look like this. So AX6 type of molecule will be octahedral in shape, SF6, and if the dipole moment is non-zero, it will be distorted octahedral. Example is XCF6. So in XCF6, there will be one lone pair. So XCF6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Now xenon is having 8 electrons. Xenon is a noble gas. So 6 electrons are in bonding and the remaining 2 electrons will be in the form of lone pair. So this shape is known as distorted octahedral shape. So here xenon will have one lone pair, and the last one AX7 type of molecule. If the dipole moment is zero, it will be pentagonal bipyramidal in shape. Example is IF7. So what will be the structure of IF7? So draw a pentagon, regular pentagon, put iodine at the center of this pentagon, 5 fluorine atoms at the sides of a corners of a pentagon. Now this will form the base and one fluorine at the top, one at the bottom. So this is pentagonal bipyramid. So these are the different shapes you will come across this chapter. So any doubts if you have, you can ask. Now write down one question. What is the question saying? The dipole moment of water molecule is given, that is 1.85 divide, and the bond angle of water molecule is also given. Find out the dipole moment of the two OH bond in water molecule. So in water molecule, there are two OH bond. So both will have the same dipole moment. Let the dipole moment be X. So find out X. So you have to find out X. Now the resultant dipole moment is given 1.85 divide. So use the formula, the resultant dipole moment will be 2 times the dipole moment of these two bonds into cos theta by 2, where this bond angle is theta. Theta is also given, that is 104.5 degree. So the resultant dipole moment is 1.85 divide, that is 2x into cos of 52.25. Put the value of cos of 52.25 from the table and you can find out the value of x. So the value of x will come out to be 1.51 divide. So individual the dipole moment is 1.51 divide and the net resultant over here is 1.85 divide. So do one thing, draw two vectors. If you have to find out the resultant, so this vector has a magnitude x, this also x, and this angle is theta. So draw the angle bisector of this. This angle will be theta by 2 and this is also theta by 2. Now the component of this along this direction will be x cos theta by 2. And if I draw a perpendicular to this, the component along this will be x sine theta by 2. Similarly, component of this will be x cos theta by 2. And here in this direction, it will be x sine theta by 2. So these two are getting cancelled out and these two are adding up. So 2x cos theta by 2. So this is the resultant direction of the two vectors. So I'm using this formula. So now in water molecule, the two vectors I have to find out, let that be x. The resultant is given, that is 1.85 divide. So the resultant is equal to 2x cos theta by 2. The resultant dipole moment is 1.85. The individual dipole moment of each of the OH bond I have to find out, that be x. And the bond angle is given 104.5 by 2. From here you can find out the x. So the individual dipole moment is 1.51 divide for each of the OH bond and the resultant is 1.85 divide. And what will be the direction of the resultant? Angle bisector. So it will be the angle bisector direction.
So can you repeat it?
Again?
Yes, sir.
So what is given in the question basically? The net dipole moment of the water molecule. So the water molecule, the dipole moment is given. That is 1.85 divide. And question is asking the dipole moment is a vectorial sum of the individual bond moment. So I have to find out the dipole moment of the individual OH bond. So let the dipole moment of the individual OH bond be x. So what is the resultant of these two? So 2x cos theta by 2. The theta is the bond angle. So 1.85 divide is the net dipole moment of the water molecule. That will be 2 into x. X is the dipole moment of the OH bond into cos theta by 2. What is theta? That is the bond angle. 104.5 by 2 degree. So from here I can find out the value of x.
Thank you, sir.
I hope you are familiar with the Menti quiz. If you have not downloaded, you can download the Menti app. So when we'll be discussing the questions, we'll be using the Menti app for poll. So there are two apps. One is menti.com, one is mentimeter.com. You have to go to menti.com. So done. Done. So let me take the attendance now. So there are total 23 participants, so excluding me, 22 students. So what is the strength of the batch? So there are 3 batches, right? So what is the total number of students that join this class? So Prishim, are you asking the code for Menti app, Menti quiz? So that I'll be sending you the sharing you the code when I'll be conducting some quiz. So I'm saying I hope just download the app. Right now I'm not conducting any quiz. So when we'll be doing the quiz, I'll be sharing you the code. There are usually 25 to 28 people. Okay. So today there are less. Now come to the next question. A diatomic molecule has a dipole moment of 1.2 divi, and the bond length is also given. Question is asking what fraction of the electron charge exists on the atom. So we know dipole moment is charge into distance between them, right? So dipole moment is given 1.2 divi. Now I am converting divi into coulomb meter. So 1 device 3.33 into 10 to the power minus 30 coulomb meter. So I am converting this device into coulomb meter. So 3.33 you can write 10 by 3. So there is one more conversion. 1 coulomb meter is equal to 3 into 10 to the power 29 device. So from here I can write 1 device is equal to 1 upon 3 into 10 to the power 29 coulomb meter. So I'm multiplying by 10 and this will become 30 into 10 to the power minus 30. So you can write 3.33 is nothing but your 10 by 3. So 10 by 3 into 10 to the power minus 3. So this is now the dipole moment in coulomb meter. So charge should be in coulomb. Let the charge that I have to calculate be Q and the bond length should be in meter. So 1 angstrom, that is 10 to the power minus 10 meter. So first calculate the charge from over here. So charge will be how much? 1.2 into 10 by 3 into 10 to the power minus 30 divided by 10 to the power minus 10. So 3, this is 0.4. 0.4 into 10, that is 4. And 10 to the power minus, this will be 10 to the power minus 20 coulomb, right? So this is the charge. Now what is the question asking? What fraction of the electron charge exists on the atom? So question is asking the charge as a fraction of electron charge. So divide this value by charge of electron, that is 1.6 into 10 to the power minus 19 coulomb. So this I am dividing by 10 and multiplying by 10. So this will be 16 into 10 to the power minus 20. So 16 into 10 to the power minus 20 will get cancelled out. So 4 by 16, that is 1 by 4. The fraction is coming out to be 1 by 4. So your answer is 0.25. So this was A part. Now come to the B part. Any doubts in A part? Any doubts in A part? Now let us come to the B part. What is the B part saying? B part is saying that the dipole moment of lithium hydride is given. So this is not centimeter, this is coulomb meter. Dipole moment of lithium hydride is given in coulomb meter. That is 1.964 into 10 to the power minus 29 coulomb meter. And the interatomic distance between lithium and hydrogen in this molecule is given. So bond length is also given, that is 1.596 angstrom. Now what is the percentage of ionic character? So you have to find out the percentage of ionic character. So percentage of ionic character will be theoretical dipole experimental dipole moment upon theoretical dipole moment into 100. Now what is theoretical dipole moment? Assuming it to be 100% ionic, that is the charge of electron into bond length. So what is the charge of electron? 1.6 into 10 to the power minus 19 coulomb, and the bond length will be 1.596 into 10 to the power minus 10 meter. So the dipole moment will be in coulomb meter. So this is the theoretical dipole moment, and experimental is given 1.964 into 10 to the power minus 29, and this will be 1.6 into 1.596 into 10 to the power minus 29. So this 29 into 100 is also there. So 196.4 by 1.6 into 1.596. Find out the value. So any doubts still over here? Any doubts you can unmute and ask. Done? Everybody is done? Come to the next question. Next question is asking which of the following molecules is polar? So which of the following molecule is polar and which of the following is non-polar? So first option, IBr, is it polar or non-polar? So bromine is more electronegative, that will be a delta negative charge, and iodine will be a delta positive charge. So this molecule is polar. So this is AX type of molecule that will be linear, and there is electronegativity difference, so that will be polar. Now what about second BF3, is it polar or non-polar? So everybody type your answer. So BF3, is it polar or non-polar? So this is AX3 type of molecule and the shape is trigonal planar and it is non-polar. So because it is symmetrical, it is non-polar. Third option, CH2Cl2. So what will be the shape of CH2Cl2? So this will be tetrahedral in shape. So this is AX4 type of molecule which is tetrahedral in shape. Now will this be polar or non-polar? Yes, everybody type your answer. Will this be polar or non-polar? So see, molecules like CH4 or CCl4, which are tetrahedral in shape and are symmetrical, they are non-polar. But this is not symmetrical. Here, all the four atoms are not same. So over here, if you see, what will be the direction of dipole moment? Over here, carbon will be at the delta negative charge and the direction will be like this. And over here, chlorine will be the delta negative and carbon will be the delta positive charge. So the direction is like this. So they are not cancelling out each other. So they are adding up basically. So it is a polar molecule. So these are non-polar only when all the four atoms are same and the net dipole moment will be cancelling out each other. And that will be symmetrical. So here it is not symmetrical. The two atoms are same, the two atoms are not same. So this is non-symmetrical and it will be polar. Any doubt? You can unmute and ask. Any doubts over here? Now, as I said you, no bond is 100% ionic, no bond is 100% covalent. So in ionic bond, there will be some covalent character, and in covalent bonds, there will be some ionic character. So the ionic character in covalent bond is determined by the dipole moment. So percentage of ionic character is determined by the dipole moment. Now covalent character in ionic bond is determined by Fajan's rule. So we'll be starting with Fajan's rule. So Fajan's rule tell us the rules of polarization to determine the covalent character in ionic compounds. So when we have to determine the covalent character in ionic compounds, then use the Fajan's rule. So first of all, let us start with polarization. So what is polarization? Now suppose there is an anion and I bring a cation near to it. So what will the cation do? It will attract the electron cloud of the anion. So cation will attract the electron cloud of the anion and the electron cloud will be coming towards the cation. So it will be bulging towards the electron cloud will be bulging towards the cation. This is known as polarization. So what is polarization? When a cation is placed near an anion, it distorts the spherical shape of the anion electron cloud due to force of attraction. Such a distorted anion is said to be polarized. Since the electrons now have a better tendency to stay between the two nuclei. So when the electrons of the anion are polarized, now these electrons can move in the cation also and on the anion also. So when the electrons can move in the cation and anion, they get more space. So they will become more stable. So when the electrons are polarized, they can move in the cation also and in the anion also. They get more space and they are more stable. So polarization is leading to stability. And you can see now what is happening. These electrons are in the cation also and in the anion also. So basically these electrons are shared. So if the electron is shared, the covalent character will increase. So what is a covalent bond? A bond formed by the sharing of electrons. When the electrons are more shared, when it is more polarized, the covalent character is more. So more is the polarization, more is the covalent character. The ionic compound is said to have acquired a certain covalent character. So when the electrons are shared, the ionic compound will acquire some covalent character. The tendency of the cation to polarize the anion is called polarizing power. So polarizing power is always defined for the cation. So what is polarizing power? The tendency of the cation to polarize the anion. So more is the polarizing power of the cation, more easily the cation will polarize the anion. So polarizing power is defined for cations, and for anion it is defined as polarizability. So for anions, the tendency of the anion to undergo polarization is called polarizability. Now greater is the polarizing power of the cation or greater is the polarizability of the anion. So if the polarizability of the anion is more or polarizing power of the cation is more, that means greater will be the polarization. More is the polarization, more is the sharing of electron. That means more will be the covalent character. So greater is the polarizing power of the cation or greater is the polarizability of the anion, greater is the covalent character of that molecule. So covalent character will depend upon polarization. So more is the polarization. Now polarization depends upon the cation and anion. So more is the polarizing power of the cation or more is the polarizability of the anion. More is the polarization. That means more is the covalent character in that ionic compound. Now write down the heading factors affecting polarization. Factors affecting polarization. So the first factor, write down a smaller size cation. So if the cation is smaller in size, it will try to attract the electron cloud more towards itself because the nucleus will be more closer. The smaller size cations will be able to attract the electron cloud more closer, and that will cause more polarization. So in a small cation, the positive charge is concentrated over a small surface. As a result, its effect in polarization of anion will be large, and the covalent character of the chlorides will leave this point. So it will have more polarization. So if I talk about the covalent character of the second group, so as I'm moving down the group, the size is increasing and the polarizing power is decreasing. So write down a smaller size cation will have more polarization. So factors affecting polarization. First factor is smaller size cation. So smaller size cation will have more polarization. Next point, write down a larger size anion. So if the anion is bigger in size, what will happen? It will donate its electron more easily. Now if the anion is bigger in size, the outermost electron will be away from the nucleus, and that will be easily polarized by the cation, or it will donate the outermost electron more easily if it is away from the nucleus. So larger size anions, the electrons of the anion will be polarized more easily. So large anions have high polarizability since their outermost electrons are shielded from the positive nuclear field from a number of completely filled occupied shells. So effective nuclear charge will be less. So the outermost electron will be facing less effective nuclear charge due to screening effect and due to increase in the size of the radius. Thus, the electrons will be polarized easily for a larger size anion. So larger size anion have more polarizability or more polarization. So as the size is increasing, the polarizability of the anion is increasing. So I minus is having more polarization. And over here, as the size is increasing, the polarizing power decreasing. So beryllium is having more polarization or more polarizing power. Come to the next point. So the first factor that is affecting polarization is smaller size cation. Next is larger size anion. Next is the charge of the cation and anion. So more is the charge of the cation, more strongly the cation will polarize the electron. Similarly, more is the charge of the anion, more easily the electrons will be polarized. So more easily the anion will donate the electrons and that will be polarized. So larger is the charge of the cation or anion, more is the polarization. So there should be high charge on the cation and anion both, then the polarization will be more. So as the charge on the cation is increasing, the polarizing power of the cation is increasing. Similarly, for anions, as the charge is increasing, the polarizing power will increase. So there are three factors on which the polarizing power will depend. So polarization will depend on the size of the cation. So inversely proportional to size of the cation. So smaller is the size of the cation, more is the polarization, and directly proportional to size of the anion. So more is the size of the anion, more is the polarization, and directly proportional to the charge. So charge of the cation and charge of the anion. So more is the charge of the anion and cation, more is the polarization. So these rules are known as Pajan's rule to determine the polarization. So more is the polarization, more is the covalent character in that ionic compound. So till there any doubts? Now the last point, before I discuss the last point, write down this ionic potential. So what is ionic potential? So ionic potential is the ratio of charge of the cation to the ratio of radius of the cation. So this ratio is known as ionic potential. So basically polarization depends upon the radius of the cation. So smaller is the radius of the cation, more is the polarization. And more is the charge of the cation, more is the polarization. So I can say it is the combined factor. Ionic potential is the combined factor of charge and radius. So polarizing power of the cation is directly proportional to the ionic potential. So polarizing power of the cation is directly proportional to its ionic potential. Now come to the fourth point. So what is the fourth point saying? It is saying pseudo inert gas configuration. So pseudo inert gas configuration compounds have more polarization. So more polarization, more is the covalent character. Now, what do you understand by pseudo inert gas? So you know argon, neon, xenon. So these are inert gas. So what is the atomic number of neon? That is 10. So 1s2, 2s2, 2p6. Then argon is 18. 1s2, 2s2, 2p6, 3s2, 3p6. Right? Now, so pseudo inert gas configuration is this, not this one. So these are the inert gas configuration that you know. Now what is pseudo inert gas configuration? Now suppose if I talk about copper atomic number 29. So you must have studied copper has an exceptional electronic configuration. So 1s2, 2s2, 2p6, 3s2, 3p6, then 4s1 and 3d10. So this is the electronic configuration of copper, that is 29. Now if we talk about copper plus 1. So copper plus 1 will be 3s2, 3p6. The outermost one electron will be removed from the 4s and it will become 4s0 and 3d10. Now this configuration 3s2, 3p6, 3d10 in which all the shells, all the orbitals are complete is known as pseudo inert gas configuration. So this configuration is known as inert gas configuration and this configuration is known as pseudo inert gas. So it is not an inert gas. So copper plus 1 is not an inert gas. So this type of configuration in which the d orbitals is also complete is pseudo inert gas. So here the d orbitals are not complete. This is 3d0. Now, what is the fourth point in the Fajans rule saying? More is the pseudo inert gas configuration. So pseudo inert gas configuration will have more covalent character and more polarization than the inert gas configuration. So this point is saying the cation should possess an electronic configuration which is not of an inert gas. That is not of an inert gas, it should be pseudo inert gas. It follows that the noble gas electronic configuration must be most effective in shielding the nuclear charge of the cation from its surface. So why is this increasing the polarization? Because this pseudo inert gas configuration, the d orbitals are diffused in nature. So the d orbitals are diffused in nature. So suppose I am adding 10 electrons to the shell, d orbitals. Now 10 protons will be also added to the nucleus. Now these d orbitals are diffused in nature. So what will happen? The effective nuclear charge will increase. So more is the effective nuclear charge, more will be the polarization and more will be the covalent character. So cations with pseudo inert gas configuration will have high positive field at their surface and consequently will have high polarizing power and more covalent character. So cations with pseudo inert gas configuration or without inert gas configuration. So cations with pseudo inert gas configuration or without inert gas configuration, you can say, will have more polarizing power and more covalent character. So the fourth point you can write down polarization. So polarization is directly proportional to pseudo inert gas configuration. So these are the 4 points of Fajans rule that you have to remember. Very important. Is polarization also proportional to inert gas? No, it is proportional to pseudo inert gas. So see the statement, cations without inert gas configuration. So this here means inert gas. So without inert gas configuration, that means having pseudo inert gas configuration will have this more polarization. So simply you can write down. So polarization is more. So if we have to compare, polarization is more for pseudo inert gas as compared to inert gas. Next, so Fajans rule is used to decide the relative covalent character in the ionic compounds. So according to these rules, if smaller is the size of the cation, more is the polarization, more is the covalent character. If larger is the size of the anion, more is the polarization, more is the covalent character. Now greater is the charge of the cation and anion, more is the polarization, more is the covalent character. Next, iron does not have inert gas configuration. So it should have a pseudo inert gas configuration. So if it is having pseudo inert gas configuration, more is the polarization, more is the covalent character. So more is the polarization, more will be the covalent character. Now more is the covalent character, then now you know ionic compounds have more melting point and boiling point. So if the covalent character is increasing in that ionic compound, the melting and boiling point will be lower. So ionic compounds have more conductivity or they are more conducting in nature. So if the covalent character is increasing in the ionic compound, then its conductivity will decrease. Also, ionic compounds are more soluble in polar solvents because they form ion. Now, as the covalent character is increasing, they will not form ions easily and their solubility in polar solvents will decrease. Now, as the covalent character is increasing, their solubility in non-polar solvents will increase. Now, non-polar solvents like carbon tetrachloride, then benzene. So these are non-polar solvents. So ionic compounds are soluble in polar solvents and covalent compounds are more soluble in non-polar solvents. So if the covalent character is increasing, its solubility in non-polar solvents will increase. And in polar solvents, its solubility will decrease. Any doubts over here? Written? Now come to this example. So in this example, what is happening? The anion, chloride ion is same. So what is changing? Basically, the cation is only the cation is changing. So over here, the size of the cation is changing. So from lithium, then sodium, then potassium, then rubidium, then cesium. So as I'm moving down the group, the size of the cation is increasing. Anion is same in these. So from lithium to cesium, the size of the cation is increasing. And what about the polarization? So smaller is the size of the cation. What will happen? More will be the polarization. So more polarization over here, and there will be less polarization over here. So if I talk about polarization, so down the group polarization is decreasing. Polarization is decreasing down the group from lithium to cesium, the polarization is decreasing. Or I can say from cesium to lithium, the polarization is increasing. Then if more is the polarization, more is the covalent character. So down the group polarization is decreasing, so covalent character will decrease. So down the group the covalent character will decrease. So that means lithium chloride is more covalent in nature, and down the group the covalent character is decreasing. So cesium chloride will be more ionic in nature. More ionic, or you can write down less covalent. So down the group, the covalent character is decreasing. So this is more of ionic and this is more of covalent in nature. So down the group, the covalent character is increasing, or I can say from cesium to lithium, the covalent character is increasing. Now this is more ionic. Ionic compounds have more melting and boiling point. So down the group, the ionic character is increasing. So melting and boiling point will increase. So down the group, the ionic character will increase and the melting and boiling point will increase. And the conductivity will also increase. So ionic compounds have more melting and boiling point and they have more conductivity. So down the group, the covalent character is decreasing. So ionic character is increasing. So if ionic character is increasing, the melting point and boiling point will increase and conductivity will increase. So lithium to cesium, the conductivity and melting point and boiling point is increasing. Now, any doubts still over here? Come to the next point. Sodium fluoride, sodium chloride, sodium bromide, sodium iodide. So here the cation, that is sodium, is same. So what is changing? The anion is changing. So fluorine, chlorine, bromine, and iodine. So that is changing. So down the group, what will happen? The bigger is the size of the anion, more is the polarization. So first of all, if I talk about size of anion, the size of anion is increasing down the group. Size of anion is increasing down the group. So bigger is the size of the anion, more is the polarization. So polarization is also increasing down the group. More is the polarization, more is the covalent character. So covalent character is increasing down the group. So NaI will be more covalent in nature and NaF will be more ionic in nature. Now come to the next example. So sodium, here also the anion chloride, that is the anion is same. Now sodium, magnesium, then aluminium, silicon, and phosphorus. So down the group, what will happen to the size of the cation? Size of the cation will decrease down the group. Also, sorry, this is not down the group. This is along the period. So this is along the period. So this is along the period sodium, magnesium, aluminium, silicon, and phosphorus. So along the period, what will happen? The size is decreasing. So size of the cation will decrease along the period. Now smaller is the size of the cation, more will be the polarization. But here the other factor is charge of the cation. So other factor is more dominating. So smaller is the size of the cation, more will be the polarization. So first factor is this, and the second is more is the charge of the cation. So charge of the cation is increasing, so more will be the polarization. So the net result is the polarization will increase. So sodium to phosphorus, the size of the cation is decreasing and the charge of the cation is increasing. So polarization will increase. So sodium to phosphorus, the polarization will increase. So more is the polarization, more is the covalent nature. So PCl5 will be more covalent in nature and NaCl will be more ionic in nature. So PCl5 is a covalent compound and NaCl is an ionic compound. Question is, why does size of the cation determine the polarizing power? So smaller is the size of the cation, more easily it will attract the electron cloud and more will be its polarizing power. So polarizing power is always defined for cations. and polarizability is defined for anions. So smaller size cations will polarize more easily because the smaller size, the effective nuclear charge will be more, and that will cause more polarization. Next point. So over here, the cation sodium is same. So what is changing? The anion. So what are the anions? Nitrogen, oxygen, and fluorine. So along the period, what will happen to size of the anion? So size of the anion will increase. So basically, these are isoelectronic species. So nitrogen is having atomic number 7. Now N3 minus will have 7 plus 3, 10 electrons. O2 minus oxygen atomic number 8, 8 plus 2, 10 electrons. And fluorine atomic number 9. So F minus 9 plus 1, 10 electrons. Right? So now for isoelectronic species, more is the number of protons or more is the atomic number, more will strongly the electrons will be attracted and smaller will be the size. So for isoelectronic species, the size will decrease. So F minus will have smaller size and N3 minus will have bigger size. So from fluorine to oxygen, the size is increasing, or you can say from nitrogen to fluorine, the size is decreasing. Now, bigger size anions have more polarization. So this is bigger in size, that will have more polarization. So bigger size anion will have more polarization. So fluorine to nitrogen, charge of the anion is also increasing and the size is also increasing. So both the factors will increase the polarization. So more is the charge of the anion or bigger is the size of the anion, more will be the polarization. So polarization is more for N3 minus and less for F minus. So more is the polarization, more is the covalent character. So N3N will be more covalent in nature and NAF will be more ionic in nature. Next point, write down. So this is copper plus 1. We have already discussed pseudo inert gas configuration. And sodium plus 1 is having inert gas configuration. This is argon 3d10 and this is neon. So pseudo inert gas configuration will have more. So pseudo inert gas configuration is cations with 18 electrons. They will have more polarizing power. So more is the polarizing power, more is the covalent character. So pseudo inert gas configuration will have more covalent character. So CuCl is more covalent in nature and NaCl is more ionic in nature. Any doubts still over here? So in the next class, we'll be starting with valence shell electron pair repulsion theory. So most of the points of this theory I have already covered. So let me just go through the table again. So suppose there is an AX2 type of molecule. So this is AX2 type of molecule with two bond pair. So what do you understand by bond pair? So this is a pair of electron that is forming bond. So this is one bond pair and this is the second bond pair. So AX2 type of molecule with two bond pair, the shape will be linear and the bond angle will be 180 degree. Now AX3 type of molecule with three bond pair, the bond angle will be 120 degree each and the shape is trigonal planar. Now AX4 type of molecule, the bond angle is 109.5 degree. So 1 degree is 30 minutes, 60 minutes. So 1 degree is 60 minutes. So 28 degree will be 28 by 60. That is approximately half degree. So 20 minutes by 60 minutes, that is half degree approximately. So 109.5 degree. That is the bond angle. Exactly if you want to, that is 109 degree 28 minutes. So 1 degree is divided into 60 minutes. So this is how the angle is divided. So AX4 type of molecule with four bond pair, it will be tetrahedral in shape, like methane molecule, and the bond angle will be 109.5 degree. Then AX5 type of molecule, it will be trigonal bipyramidal in shape, and AX5 type of molecule, three atoms, at the side of an equilateral triangle, one at the top, one at the bottom. So triangle bipyramidal in shape. So what are the bond angles? So this angle is 120 degree, you know, equilateral triangle. Now this is perpendicular to this. So this is perpendicular to this. So this angle will be 90. Similarly, this angle is also 90 and this angle will be 90. Similarly, this angle is 90, this angle is 90. So all these are 90 degree angles and this angle X, A, X. So this angle is 180 degree. So there is one 180 degree angle and there are 90 degree and 120 degree angle. So 3 angle 120 degree and 6 angle 90 degree and 1 angle 180 degree. So this is AX5 type of molecule, that is trigonal bipyramidal, and bond angles will be 90, 120, and 180. And the last one is AX6 type of molecule. So AX6 type of molecule, the shape will be octahedral and the bond angle are 90 and 180. So AX6 type of molecule also we have discussed. So what is AX6 octahedral? 4 at the sides of a regular square, one at the top, one at the bottom. So this is perpendicular to this, so this angle will be 90. Similarly, all the angles, this angle will be 90. Now this angle will be also 90. So this is a square. So the diagonals bisect each other at 90 degrees. So this angle is 90, this angle is 90, this angle is also 90, this angle is also 90. So all the angles are 90 except this angle, XAX. So this angle is 180. So in octahedral, one angle is 180, rest all the angles are 90. So one angle is 180, rest all angles are 90. So draw this table. Rest will be continuing in the next class. So octahedral, how to draw octahedral? All the 4 angles are at the corners of a regular square, one at the top, one at the bottom. So first of all, this angle is 180 degree and the remaining, this angle will be 90. These are the diagonals of a square. This is also 90, this is also 90, this is also 90, total 360. These are perpendicular. Now this is perpendicular to this is also 90. This is perpendicular to this 90 and this one also 90. So all these angles are 90. This angle is also 90. This angle is perpendicular to this, that is 90.